कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Kadalika Dili Hari, Gaur Hari, Kadalika Dili Hari, Gaur Hari. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya, Ananta Dev, Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya, Ananta Dev. Jaya Panchatattva, 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 Jaya Panchatattva. Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari.
Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari, Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hari.
Jaya Prabhupada,
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
केसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की
जय।
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस वार्याकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमती दिव्यांग भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज की
जय।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय।
रामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
जय।
वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की
जय।
मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की
जय।
पुरुषोत्तम क्षत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की
जय।
गंगा माई यमुना माई की
जय।
तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी की
जय।
समवेत भक्त वृंद की
जय।
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा,
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा,
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा।
All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada.
जय।
Skit you will record.
Which one where?
Skit will happen here.
Here only.
Last after
I
the
might
speech.
leave in the middle.
Hare Krishna.
They take me there.
Hare Krishna dear devotees, Mataji's and Prabhuji's.
Then you tell something.
This one connect.
Hare Krishna. Today we
This it
have
won't
with
connect.
us
It has
His
inbuilt
Grace
mic,
Yugal
no,
Kishore
so it will be heard
Prabhuji.
properly.
He is
Yeah,
the
sir,
disciple
last time also I
of,
did that.
His
was
Holiness
proper.
Properly
Ramapada
it's
Swami Maharaj.
It's not right.
Coming to his education, he has completed graduation from Government Engineering College, Aurangabad, and he has done masters from IHG Delhi, and he is working as a manager in one of the MNC. He is practicing Krishna consciousness since year 2005, and he is helping to develop Whitefield congregation, and he has developed various Bhakti Riksha, and currently Prabhuji is also taking Bhakti Shastri. He is teaching us. We are his students. So thank you, Prabhuji. We welcome you, Prabhuji, and thank you for accepting the invitation for this.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare. Hare Krishna. You didn't turn this way. It's my fortune that we are here along with all wonderful devotees here in our Kagdaspura center. Okay, so we will have Jai Radha Madhav for a few minutes. Somebody is playing. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरिनाम संकीर्तन की शिला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So we'll recite together. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललितान्वितां च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So welcome to Sunday feast. So today we are going to discuss about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So just now we chanted Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and then we are raising our hand. Sometimes the question comes, why do we raise our hands? So when Hanumanji in Sundar Kand, we just now we are the whole India, the whole world became Ramamai. Everybody is talking about Ram, 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 Ram. In fact, it is not the Ram's glories that it is not that for the benefit of Ram, but it is for our benefit that we are actually chanting the name of the Lord Ram. So Hanumanji, when he goes to Lanka, and in Sundarkand it is mentioned that he was trying all his endeavor. At one point of time, he searched everywhere, but he couldn't find. Finally, he offered his obeisances to Sita Mata. And when he offered his obeisances, actually he could see that he was in front of the Ashok that Vatika, where Sita Mata was there. He couldn't find earlier, because not only depending on our own endeavor, but actually we have to pray to Lord Sita Devi, Bhakti Devi, and by her only mercy that we can see that. So when he prayed to Sita Mata, then immediately he realized the Sita Mata is under that. And when he actually thinking, how can I go in front of Sita Mata? She will not be able to recognize us. So then lot of discussion, he starts glorifying, he starts discussing Ram Katha, and probably that could be the first incident where Ram Katha started discussing. So where the speaker is on the tree and the audience is actually on the ground, where Sita Mata was hearing, and that is why the speaker is on the top. And then when he came down and he could realize that earlier he was thinking that why so many Vanaras, so many people are just running behind for one lady, Sita. What is so special about that? And when he saw Sita Mata in direct Pratyaksha Darshan, he realized that she is a Sita. How he could realize that she is a Sita? Because Mother Sita Mata was meditating on Lord Ram for such a long period of time, she was resembling exactly like Prabhu Ramchandraji. This is what happens when we meditate on qualities of great personality. We not only imbibe those qualities, but in fact, we would also be looking like exactly the same. So sometimes you could see that when husband and wife, they are in a marriage for a long period of time, and not today, maybe the Vedic culture and maybe a few years ago, husband and wife, they were very very respect to each other, and they were meditate. The husband and wife meditating on each other so much that after a long period of time they look like exactly similar. So then when Hanumanji jumped down, and then he immediately offered to Mother Sita like this. So it is said that if you are offering obeisances to your mother, you can do like this, your father, you can do to your spiritual master like this. And when you offer obeisances to our Lord, Supreme Lord, you can raise a hand like this. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This is just I remembered, so I thought I will just share because we are fresh from the memory of celebrating our dear Lord Prabhu Ramchandraji. So today we are going to discuss about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. How many of you know about Bhagavatam? What is Bhagavatam? What is Bhagavatam? It is nothing but Bhagavatam. What is Srimad Bhagavatam?
Describes about Supreme Lord and His devotees.
It describes Supreme Lord, okay, and His devotees.
It's the Granth Roop of Krishna.
It is a Granth Rupa of Krishna. Is that color right or some blurred image?
Correct.
Okay, very good. It's a Granth Rupa of Krishna, very wonderful. What else?
कृष्ण के धाम पहुंचाने वाली है, जो कृष्ण का साक्षात्कार करवा के कृष्ण के धाम पहुंचाने वाला भागवत.
Wow, that is the book which actually take from Kagadaspura all the way to the Goloka. Very, so nice. So when we discuss about Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita practically ends at chapter 18, shloka number 66, where Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayasya Mimasucha. You surrender unto me. And Srimad Bhagavatam, just like Bhagavad Gita, is the discussion between our Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and his disciple Arjuna. So it's a Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Gita means songs, Bhagavad means Lord's song. So it's about Srimad Bhagavatam is about Lord and Lord's devotees, as Mataji said. So where Bhagavad Gita ends, from that point actually Srimad Bhagavatam begins. And the very first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam is such a beautiful shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya Yato Anvayat Itaratas Chartesha Avidya Swarat Tene Brahma Hrudaye Adikavai Mulyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Vari Vruda Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargam Rusha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhagam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So Vasudev actually telling about that absolute truth, Param Satya. Who is that Param Satya? He says that Janmadi Asyayateha, from which everything comes. He is the source, he is the maintainer, and he is also the destructor. That Satya, Param Satya, the absolute truth is nothing but Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. What is, who is the Vasudevaya?
Krishna.
Son of Vasudeva is called as Vasudeva, Lord Sri Krishna. And that Supreme Lord, so because sometimes we may get confusion, who is that Param Satya? Param Satya means some imaginary or embodied, unmanifested thing, something. No, Vasudeva is very clear. That Param Satya, absolute truth, is none other than Vasudeva. And to that Vasudeva, he says Satyam Param Dhimai. I'm offering my obeisances. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. So Bhagavatam begins where Bhagavad Gita ends. And that Bhagavatam, today we are going to see here the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Are you ready for the glories of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? How many skandhas are there in Bhagavatam? Okay, and how many shlokas are there?
18.
Very good. So if we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam glories, we can hear the Srimad Bhagavatam glories directly from Bhagavatam itself. In Bhagavatam, especially the 12th canto, 12th chapter, there are many shlokas which actually glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. So today, we are going to refer some of the shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam, but in addition to that, mainly we will be discussing from the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam from Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda, many shlokas, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 and chapter 4. So this is the one of the shlokas you would have heard many times, right? Nimna Ganus yatha Ganga Devanam Achutam yatha Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhuha Puranam Idam Tatha. Can someone read the translation?
This case, the Ganga is the greatest of all rivers. Lord Achyuta, the supreme among deities, and Lord Shambhu Shiva, the greatest of Vaishnavas. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Puranas.
This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto, chapter number 13. It is said that just like the mother Ganges, Ganga, is the greatest of all the rivers, Nimna Ganan Yatha Ganga. Among all the rivers, Ganges is the greatest. Among all the deities, Achyuta is the greatest. Among all the Vaishnavas, who is the greatest? Shambhu. And among all the Puranam Idam Tatha, among all the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the greatest. How many Puranas are there?
18.
There is another wonderful shloka comes just after that same chapter. It says that Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amal Et Vaishnavanam Priyam. So Mataji, somebody else can read the translation.
Srimad Bhagavatam is most dear to the Vaishnavas because it describes the pure and supreme knowledge of the Paramahamsas. This Bhagavatam reveals the means of becoming free from all material work together with the process of transcendental knowledge, renunciation and devotion. Anyone who seriously tries to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, who properly hears and chants it with devotion, becomes completely liberated.
This Srimad Bhagavatam is Amalam Puranam. Mala means Amala.
Pure, clean.
Pure. There is no dirt. Amala Purana. And yet Vaishnavanam Priyam is very dear to Vaishnavana. Just like Lord Krishna and his glories are unlimited, similarly the Srimad Bhagavatam holds the truth because his glories are unlimited. Why the Srimad Bhagavatam is glorious and Amalam Purana? Because Srimad Bhagavatam does not talk about anything material. Dharma projita kaitavatta puram nirmasaranam satam Vedam vastam atra vastu sivalam tapatrayan moolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krutatim Vaparayishwaram Sadde Hrudaye Avaruddhate Atra Krutivi Shusruvistatchana. This Srimad Bhagavatam is with Dharma Projita Kaitavatra. So it is actually rejecting all other material things. Just like Bhagavad Gita says, Sarva Dharman Pariteja. You only talk about the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So here it actually describes the pure and the supreme knowledge about the Lord Sri Krishna and also about the Paramahamsa. It also talks about means how to get rid of all these three modes of material nature, right? Otherwise, if we don't get rid of all these three modes of material nature, what happens? We take birth, we again die, we take birth. The cycle of birth and death, the samsara actually continues. Life after life after life after life. And unfortunately, this material world is such a wonderful design that we struggle so hard so much of struggle is there just for the little happiness. And still we are actually going behind that. And that is the greatness. When Brahmadev comes to Lord Vishnu, he says that how can I create such a world where there is so much of suffering, and for that so much of little bit of happiness, the people have to go through so much of suffering. I cannot create. And not only that, I have to create such a world, the people should be very interested to go through the cycle of repeated birth and death. And that greatness is that. That's why Brahmadev said that I cannot create. But by the mercy of Lord Krishna, he created such a wonderful world where just for a short happiness. In this morning, we are discussing that not even a 1% of happiness, but we struggle 99% of the time. How many of you agree with that? So that is the case here. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives us means that to go beyond this samsara, the cycle of repeated birth and death. And from there we get the Vairagya, Jnana, and of course the Bhakti. So it is very dear to Vaishnavas because it actually talks about the Paramahamsas, it talks about the Lord Sri Krishna, and actually devotees are interested only to hear about Krishna and Krishna's devotees. And that is why Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to Vaishnavanam. Vaishnavanam Priyam is very dear to Vaishnavas. The teachings of now Srimad Bhagavatam, and then coming to the teachings of our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by one of the great Acharya called Srinath Chakravarti Thakur, he actually gives what is the teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In a very 4 lines he says that Aradya Bhagavan Vrajastanaya Tadadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramam Amalam Prema Kumarto Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matam Idam Tatrardamna Paraha. Translation.
The most worshipable form of Lord is that of Sri Krishna.
Aradya Bhagavan Vrajastanaya. So who is the most worshipable Lord?
Sri Krishna. The son of Nanda Maharaj. Vrindavan Dhama is the topmost worshipable abode. The highest, most pleasing type of worship of Krishna is done by Vraja Gopis. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless authority on everything, and Krishna Prema is the fifth and highest goal of life.
So this is the conclusive teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Aradya Bhagavan, who is the most worshipable Lord, is the Vrajeshtanaya. Vrajeshtanaya. What is Vrajeshtanaya? The son of Vrajendra. Who is Vrajendra? Nanda Maharaj, the son of Nanda Maharaj. So Lord Krishna in Dwarka is a complete Purna, whereas the Krishna in Mathura is a more complete Purna Taraha, and Krishna in Vrajabhumi is the most complete Purna Taram Tamaha. So that is the positive, the next is the comparative degree, and the last is the superlative degree. So this is perfect, more perfect, and the most perfect. So who is the most worshipable deity for all of us? Lord Sri Krishna, who is the son of Nanda Maharaj, and which is the dham, which is the topmost? The dhama Vrindavan. The topmost dham is the Vrindavan dham. And how do we worship that Lord Krishna in Vrindavan? That what is the most significant example for all of us in to whom actually we can follow in worshipping Supreme Lord Sri Krishna? Gopis. Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Ye Kalpita. Vrajavadhus, that whatever the way that the Vrajavadhus or the Gopis of Vrajabhumi that they worship Krishna, that is the highest worship that actually for all of us to follow in the footsteps of Gopis. And for every sampradaya there is a book which actually all the acharyas, similarly for all of us follower of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the topmost Purana, the Praman, the spotless authority for all of us is Srimad Bhagavatam, Pramanam Amalam. And what is the why the Srimad Bhagavatam is actually topmost? Because it gives us the Kumartamahan, the Prema Kumartamahan. It can give us the highest Krishna Prema. In fact, in a Vedic culture, people's objective is for the 4 what you call the objectives. What are the 4 objectives? Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that don't get satisfied, don't get settled for that 4 goal, but there is a 5th and the highest goal, which is the Krishna Prema. So this is the teaching in a very simple word of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So to summarize, what is the most worshipable deity?
Lord Shri Krishna.
Brajesh Nanda Tanaya. Which is the most worshipable dham?
Vrindavan.
And who is the most or the form of worshipable deity, worshipping Lord Sri Krishna is the worship by
Gopis.
Gopis. And what is the spotless authority for the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Srimad Bhagavatam. And what is the highest goal for all of us is Krishna Prema. And that is where Srimad Bhagavatam actually gives us direction and means. If you saw the previous shloka 12.13.18, it gives the highest means to go to that Krishna Prema. And that is where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this is for all of us, is the highest Pramana. So now, especially that comes now, we are talking about Padma Purana. So one day, in Padma Purana, the story comes, Narad Muni was traveling and he comes across Bhakti Devi. So Bhakti Devi actually was crying, and next to Bhakti Devi there were 2 sons or 2 men. They were actually lying unconscious. And when Narad Muni actually reaches there, and then he asked Bhakti Devi, who are you and who are these things? And then she said that I am a Bhakti Devi. And because in this age of Kali, people are not able to appreciate Bhakti, this is my situation, I am crying. And not only that, these 2 sons, those are actually lying unconsciously. They are none other than my 2 sons. And who are they? Jnana and Vairagya. They are completely unconscious. So in today's world, that is the situation in this age of Kali. Who is bothering for Bhakti? Jnana and Vairagya to dur ki baat hai. Bhakti itself is Bhakti. Nobody wanted a Bhakti. Nobody wants for Jnana. Nobody is interested for Vairagya. Everybody is interested only for the. This morning one devotee,
Sense gratification.
Indriya Trupti. This morning one devotee said that, especially in Bangalore, it is very apt. Everybody is interested in IT. And what is that IT? Information technology. No, Indriya Trupti. And from that, from IT to BT, we have to go. And what is BT? Bhagavad Trupti. So we are so engrossed in this Indriya Trupti that if we live by default for all of us, what is the natural? What was the natural for us for long ago become unnatural, and what is unnatural becomes so natural. If we live default us, nobody is pushing us, nobody is saying to chant 1 round, come to the 4 round, to the Krishna Sevaka, Sadhaka, Upasak and Srila Prabhupada Asray. We are by default in the IT group only, because we are in Bangalore. What else we can be expected other than the IT? So these 2 sons of Bhakti, they were struggling, they are unconscious, and Narad Muni is trying to. Now she requested Narad Muni, please enliven them, awake them somehow or the other. And Narad Muni is trying, and that is where the discussion goes. And then he says, what is the stage of this Kali Yuga? Can you read the translation? This is the scenario in Kali Yuga.
The great says, who was fully equipped in knowledge, could see through his transcendental vision the deterioration of everything material due to the influence of the age. He could also see that the faithless people in general would be reduced in duration of life and would be impatient due to lack of goodness.
So here Narad Muni is seeing the scenario that Bhakti is already crying. Nobody is giving any attention to the Bhakti. And the Jnana and Vairagya are unconscious, there is no question of anything. And that is where Srimad Bhagavatam says that this is what is expected in this age of Kali. In the age of Kali, that the lifespan of the people will be reduced. If you see Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see that the earlier ages people used to do tapasya for 10,000 years. Today forget about 10,000, you cannot even sit for some time. Then somebody has a back pain, this pain, that pain. and we couldn't even live for 100 years. And out of that 100 years now, even if somebody says I'm 60, 70, wow, at least you made it. You reached the finishing line. What to talk about reaching 100? That will be like, sometimes then suddenly some person will be 80-year-old, and then on Instagram there will be big person, oh, he reached 80 years, celebrate his 80th years of birthday. So this is the scenario. There's another shloka which actually talks, Prayana alpa ayushya sabhya kalasmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyo he upadrata. Read the translation. The characteristics of Kali Yuga.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed.
So, Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken 5,000 years ago, and so this is the beauty of Vedic culture, Vedic scriptures. It is predicting 5,000 years ago, it is predicting that what would happen 5,000 years later, the people in this age of Kali, that it is said that Prayana Alpa Ayushya, the Ayushya will be Alpa. Alpa Ayushya is shorter life. We are experiencing that. So whatever was actually predicted by Srimad Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago, it's happening. The next is that Manda Sumanda. They are, and the next is that Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya. So they are quarrelsome. Quarrelsome. You come to the Bangalore traffic on the just a simple one things, and there is a quarrel there. We don't need even a trivial things can actually make us quarrel. We don't have to go to somewhere. Even a husband and wife are fighting. Father and son and daughter fighting. Even the son, like of the 7th standard, is fighting, and then he's going away from the home and going to somewhere else. This is the scenario that quarrelsome. A small reason is good enough to have a fight. That is the characteristics of the second characteristics of the Kali Yuga. Lazy. So easy. That lazy, it is so easy. Everybody just want Uta and Nidra, Uta and Nidra, Uta and Nidra. Don't ask anything else. Earlier, people used to work so hard. I mean, some person told that a few years ago, people used to, their strength was so much that they actually can lift the sack of 50 kg. Today, we don't have strength. We are so lazy. All we needed is that even we cannot even reach to the TV. Just sitting on the couch, actually we want that. And then we do all those lazy things, and early morning we get up and go to gym so that we can burn some calories. That is the unfortunate situation of the Kali Yuga. So the whole day we are on the 4-wheeler, and morning we are on the 2-wheeler of the treadmill and doing all those exercises to burn the calories. So unfortunate. So we are quarrelsome, we are lazy, we are misguided. Because we don't know what is the purpose of life. Misguided. So the President of United States of America said that today we have guided missiles, but unfortunately we have misguided citizens or the people. We don't know what is the purpose. And if you ask what is the purpose, then immediately go to the google.com and what is the purpose of life. It will tell us, definitely it will tell us the purpose of life, but that's not the highest purpose of life. And if you want to know the highest purpose of the life, we have to come to the Vedic culture, we have to come to the Vedic scripture, and that will give us the exact what is the highest goal of the life. Otherwise, we may get misguided, and definitely if you see that most of the citizens are actually misguided, and we were also one among them. But by the mercy of our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, that actually somewhere the light went on by their mercy, and then we are here today discussing about Bhagavatam. Otherwise, what is the qualification that we do have that we are discussing about Bhagavatam? Because this Bhagavatam is meant for the Paramahamsas, not for the people like me. But because of the founder Acharya or founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada mercy, we are here. Otherwise, Sunday evening, 4:30, 5 o'clock, people here, it is a surprise, big surprise in the Kali Yuga. Otherwise, we'll be in the mall doing all kinds of shopping and watching TV and match and cricket and so many things. So you are fortunate. So give one round of applause to all of you. Thank you, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. One personality changed the whole world. So, lazy, misguided, unlucky, we are so unfortunate, and above all, we are always disturbed. In this age of Kali, 21st of century, World Health Organization says that 75% of the problem will be because of our mind. We are happy because we are not happy because we got Maruti, but we are actually unhappy because the next person got the Mercedes Benz. So this is the challenges that it's all always disturbed. We are not happy or satisfied what we have, but we are always disturbed because what the other person has. Oh, that person got 1,000 likes. I did not get even one like. So this is the scenario today we have. Unfortunate, always disturbed. So these are the characteristics of the Kali Yuga. Narad Muni could actually see that Bhakti Devi is crying, Gyan and Vairagya is unconscious. So Narad Muni try to awaken these two sons. Nothing happened. He called them, oh Gyan and Vairagya, wake up, wake up, wake up. They couldn't wake up. They recited mantra from Upanishad, from things in Bhagavad Gita also. Then they got up, but their eyes they couldn't open. They were nodding their head, about to sleep again. And then suddenly there was a voice from the sky, and that voice said that, "Oh great sage, do not get dejected," because he was trying all the way, but these were in a deep slumber. They were not waking up, Jnana and Vairagya. So then Narad Muni was told from the sky. He said that don't get dejected. Go to the holy place. You will come across the great sage person, the sage. And that sage will direct you, and by his mercy, you will actually wake these two sleeping soul, Jnana and Vairagya. And then Narad Muni, Bhakti Devi, and these two sons actually they go there, and then he meet Sanat Kumar, and that Sanat Kumar actually tells the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. Can somebody read that? So now we are starting from Padma Purana Uttarakhand, chapter 2, Shloka 60 and 61. So Sanat Kumara appeared there. Narad Muni is there along with the Bhakti Devi and her sons Jnana and Vairagya. And now Sanat Kumar is guiding to Narad Muni what to be done. Yes, slightly zoom in. Oh, color is not visible.
Letters are
said that zoom out. Bhagavatam is the Jnana Vidya simplifies.
zoom out. Slightly more.
Is this better? Same.
Okay, only one
knowledge that has been performed to rejuvenate Jnana and Vairagya by very chanting of Srimad Bhagavatam. Great strength will be derived from or Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya. Jnana and Vairagya will be free of distress and happiness of Bhakti will also be attained.
So Sanat Kumar give the first solution to Narad Muni that if you want to wake this Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya, what we have to do? We have to start reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the first thing that now we are hearing. We will hear so many glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So now Sanat Kumar told now what we have to do? We have to hear Bhagavatam. So for all of us, if we want to, now today if you open, just like Hanumanji opened his heart, and what was there? Prabhu Ramchandraji and Sita Mata. If you open our heart, or at least if I open my heart, what will be there? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mad. It's like daba daba ke bhara hua hai. So if we have to clean our heart, Cheto Darpanam Marjam, or from Srila Prabhupada coming from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what we have to do? That heart which is actually full of all the contamination, all anarthas, full of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mad. How can the Supreme Lord, who is actually pure, Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta, can reside in such a heart? It is not possible. We absolutely have no inclination for bhakti. So if we have to welcome our heart, welcome our Lord, our heart should be clean. And if we have to clean our heart, one way of cleaning our heart in this age of Kali is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here Sanat Kumar is telling to Narad Muni that you must recite Srimad Bhagavatam, and once you recite Srimad Bhagavatam, this Jnana and Vairagya will actually get up. Not only that, now he starts telling the beautiful glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. He's comparing Srimad Bhagavatam to a lion. Can you please translate?
By the transcendental sound and recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, all the defects related to Kali will surely disappear, just like the wasps vanish at the roar of a lion.
So here Bhagavatam is compared to lion. Just like lion is the king of the forest, and so when lion goes for its prey, all the people, all the animals will actually respectfully give way to lion. So similarly, among all the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost shastra, and all the other shastras respectfully subservient to the Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no way that they can contradict the understanding, the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. They all will align to the Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, because Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate conclusion of all the Vedic scripture. So Sanat Kumara continues that this Srimad Bhagavatam is glorified by one and all unequivocally. Why? One of the reasons for to have this, so that we don't take off. One devotee said that there are two important shlokas for the Vaishnavas here. One is that Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So as soon as you start Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, you take off. And then Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Ram. So these two shlokas are very important. So one person, one Bhagavatam speaker was saying that it was a story that one person would come very regularly to Srimad Bhagavatam. From the very first moment till the last moment he would come. And he was asked, how come you are so regular? He said that I had a problem of insomnia. That insomnia means that you couldn't get a sleep. But your Bhagavatam are so wonderful that as soon as I come to this Bhagavatam things, that I get so peaceful and undisturbed sleep that I won't get that sleep even I take a pills. So to avoid that, I am asking so that you will not get I will come between you and your sleep.
When the transcendental sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam is chanted, then bhakti that yields the mood of love for the Supreme Lord, accompanied by Jnana and Vairagya, will dance in every heart and every house.
So, when we start hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, bhakti will actually arouse your heart, in our heart. And not only bhakti, along with that will come Jnana and Vairagya. There is a shloka from Bhagavatam 1.2.7. What is that? Bhagavate Vasudevaya, which comes with Jnana and Vairagyas are accompanied by that. Anyway, so which actually talks about that when we recite Srimad Bhagavatam, bhakti will come, and bhakti will not come alone. Along with that will come Jnana and Vairagya. So just like that, human beings, we have feelings, we have emotions. So similarly, these Jnana and Vairagyas also have feeling and emotions, and they become extremely blissful. They become rejuvenated when Srimad Bhagavatam recitation is carried all over the world. So this is the next glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, that wherever there is a glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, bhakti will also come, and along with bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya will also be accompanied by. So what is this Srimad Bhagavatam? Sanat Kumar continues the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. Can somebody read that? Somebody may say, I don't have time for recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. I am so busy in Bangalore traffic, Bangalore office work, IT work, Indriya Trupti work, so I don't have time. Bhagavatam itself is saying, Bhagavatam Canto 12, chapter number 20, 12 and shloka number 59, that if you cannot read Srimad Bhagavatam for half an hour, at least read for 15 minutes. If you cannot read for 15 minutes, at least read for 5 minutes. If you cannot read for 5 minutes, at least read for one shloka. And if you cannot read one shloka, at least read one line of that shloka. And if you cannot read that, at least read the half of the shloka. Read the translation, bro.
One who, with undeviating attention, constantly recite this literature at every moment of every hour, as well as one of who faithfully hears even one verses or half a verse or a single line or even half line, certainly purify his very self.
So even if we read as just a single line from Srimad Bhagavatam every single day, it will actually purify ourselves. So I mean, Sanat Kumar is actually feeling all these glories. As soon as Bhakti and Jnana and Vairagya saw the darshan of the Sanat Kumara, all the doubts were actually cleared, and Sanat Kumara actually glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said that the Srimad Bhagavatam is like a fruit. Srimad Bhagavatam is like a ghee, and Srimad Bhagavatam is like actually. So how is Srimad Bhagavatam like a fruit? It's like a sugarcane juice, fruit. So fruit. So what is the essence of the tree? The tree is known by its fruit. So the essence of the tree is actually in the fruit. So you suppose now the mango season will come, and if you say there's a mango tree, and if you say okay, go and taste the mango tree, will you get the taste of that mango? No, we have to wait for fruit. The fruit. So similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is a fruit of all the Vedic literature, and you can actually see that tree, you can taste that tree through its fruit. Next is Srimad Bhagavatam is glorified by Sanat Kumara, is like a ghee. Now the ghee comes from milk. No, but can you see ghee there? No, we have to extract that milk, and from there, from milk to the curd to the things, and then finally we get the ghee. So similarly, when we actually extract the Vedas, and that is where Srimad Bhagavatam comes, and then you will actually taste Srimad Bhagavatam like a ghee. And Srimad Bhagavatam is also compared by Sanat Kumara like a sugarcane juice. If you take the sugarcane from the top to bottom is a sweet, but its taste or the sweet get enhanced when you extract the juice. So similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is like a nectar. Whether you touch from the top, whether you touch from the bottom, or if you touch from the middle, you will only get the sweet, sweet, and sweet. And that is why it is compared to the sugarcane juice. So now Sanat Kumara said that you please start reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. And as soon as it was told that we are going to have a Srimad Bhagavatam class at 5 o'clock at Kagdaspura VK Sport Convention, and everybody started gathering there. But exactly similar thing happened. Can you please read the next translation? Padma Purana.
Everyone came there to that place running with great speed to drink the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then the first and foremost begins are the Vaishnavas, the dear devotees of the Lord.
So among all those who want to hear Bhagavatam, who are the Prathama? Sarve Pratham Echa Vaishnavam. So what does it mean? The Vaishnavas are very much eager to hear Srimad Bhagavatam again and again. We know that now all these Narad Muni and Bhakti and Jnana Vairagya went to the bank of Ganges, and now they are going to recite Srimad Bhagavatam. If you come to our Srimad Bhagavatam itself, now when Parikshit Maharaj went on the bank of Ganges, there Sukadeva Goswami came and all the sages actually came. And in that assembly there was Vyasadeva and many other great exalted devotees. Is it that these devotees are they didn't hear Bhagavatam before that? Yes, they already had heard Bhagavatam, but still they were very much eager to hear Bhagavatam again and again and again. For all of us, if you hear Bhagavatam first canto, or today, next time if somebody says that, no, I already heard Srimad Bhagavatam, I don't need. But you can see that the enthusiasm exhibited for all the Vaishnava, the great sages, great personalities, that they were the first one. Prathamam Echa Vaishnavam. If you see the shloka, the last line, the second line, second part, it says that Pratamam Echa Vaishnava. Among all those, where the Pratama, the first one to come to on the bank of Ganges to hear Srimad Bhagavatam was the Vaishnava. So we can actually tell that how Vaishnava, great Vaishnavas are actually very, very enthusiastic to read Srimad Bhagavatam and hear that. We can also see when the sages came to meet Parikshit Maharaj on the bank of Ganges, they did not come there to purify themselves, to taking a bath in the bank in the Ganges, but they wanted to get purified by the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam coming from the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami. And that is why Vaishnava Bhagavatam is very dear to Vaishnavas. So wherever there is a Bhagavad Katha is actually going on, Vaishnavas are the first one to hear that. And this also says that at that time there were no any mechanism of sending a message, SMS or WhatsApp or any kinds of social networking where the people were told that there is a program. But how did all the sages actually gathered there exactly same time? That means in Vedic culture there was another different ways of different mechanism where the message were actually spread. It was not that we have to go through all these technical or electronic ways of sending the message. There was a different ways of doing that. So that clearly indicates that the sages were actually came there. They were told somehow or the other way, whatever the ways of that message communicating, they were actually the first one to come there. So they were very eager to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and again. But if we are told, we always say that I know everything and we don't need to hear about it again and again. But here great sages are showing by their own example that no matter what happens, every year we hear about Damodar Ashtakam, we hear about Damodar story. Now 2023 October, November we heard Srimad Bhagavatam Damodar Leela. 24 what happened in October, November? We'll hear the same stories. Or we'll create some another story of Damodar Leela and here. No, we will hear the same story again in 24. And what about 25? We will still hear the same story again and again and again and again. So we don't have to get tired or we don't have to lose the enthusiasm, because the more we hear, the more actually the purification of our heart will happen just by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. And exactly the same thing happened here for the Sanat Bhakti Devi and her two sages, to her sons. And then Sanat Kumar is saying that what about the houses in Bangalore, they are not hearing the Bhagavatam. Sanat Kumar is actually telling that the situation of those people, those who are not hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, Prabhu?
That house in which Srimad Bhagavata Katha is read every day, that house will be converted into a scared place. Bhagavatam drives secret. Bhagavatam drives always all the sign living in the house, and so it becomes a
Punya Kshatra. Tat graham tirtha rupam hi vastavam papa nashanam. Papa nashanam means all the sins. So this Srimad Bhagavatam must read in every house every single day. And that house will become a Punya Kshatra. How many of us would like to make our own house as a Punya Kshatra? And what we have to do? To recite Srimad Bhagavatam there, we must have a... How many of us have Bhagavatam in our house? How many of don't have Bhagavatam? Do you have any plan to take Bhagavatam today? Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu is saying yes. So do you have one set ready for Prabhu? Do you have one set ready? Karupati Kishore Prabhu, do you have one set ready for this Prabhu? You take order. So just by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, our house actually become a Punya Kshatra. And the same thing is also told. This is now from Padma Purana Uttarakhand, chapter 3, shloka number 29. The same similar shloka is there in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very long shloka, chapter 5, canto number 1, shloka number 10. Can you please recite, read the translation? I think this red color is making the problem here, looks like.
Those words.
Now here Bhagavatam says that what if we are not reciting Bhagavatam in our house? Now the first shloka talks about that if we are reciting Bhagavatam every single day, our house become a Punya Kshetra. But if you don't recite Srimad Bhagavatam every day, because any definition, we should have both the things. If you do things, it will happen. If you don't do things, so that is what now the second shloka from Bhagavatam it talks about that.
Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can satisfy the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by the saintly person to be likened to a place of pilgrim for growth. Since all the perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not drive any pleasure there.
These words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, they alone can satisfy the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly person like the place of the pilgrimage for crows. So the houses where the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam is not happening, these are the pilgrimage place for crows. And where do crow go? Huh? Dirty place. Master is saying that wherever the dirty place, crow will go. And where the hamsas will go, the swans. Clean place. So similarly, where there are no glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, that house is nothing but the place of garbage where the only crows will come. So it's an analogy. You don't have to take literally that tomorrow onwards in our houses all the crows will come. This is the consciousness that we are carrying. That because here it is said that we have to glorify the Supreme Lord, which only can purify the whole universe. And if you are not doing that, it is the other way around. The opposite to that is that the words which are not there to glorify Krishna, that means the words are for some other purpose, and that the words actually become the place of garbage. And when there is a place of garbage, it is nothing but the invitation for the crows to come and enjoy that. So this is the another things. If we don't have this, so Sanat Kumar is actually glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam again and again. So here now Sanat Kumar is telling that how we should study Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, mother.
The sins committed in course of the birth would be destroyed if one reads the Bhagavata Shastra with meaning or
Janma koti kutam papam nashayante na atra samshaya. Na atra samshaya means there is no doubt that even if I have accumulated the sins for Janma Koti for millions and millions of lifetime, but just by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, Echa Bhagavatam Shastram Vachet Artho Nisham Janma Koti Krutam Papam Nashayante Na Atra Samshaya, that if we recite Srimad Bhagavatam every single day, even if we have accumulated the sins like as high as the Mandara mountain, all the sins will actually get eradicated simply by reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. And this Srimad Bhagavatam is actually next shloka. Nigama kalpa taror galitam phalam sukha mukhat amrutam dravya sanyitam pibam bhagavatam rasam alayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. This Bhagavatam, now coming the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, the third shloka, the very first chapter, first canto, where it is said that this Bhagavatam is nothing but the fruits of all the Vedic literature. And not only that, it is a fruit of all Vedic literature, it is a Nigama Kalpatarur Galitam Phalam. Galitam means it's a ripe fruit. It's a ripened fruit. So there is a mango, the unripe kacha mango and the pakka mango, the ripe and unripe. So ripe mango will actually, you can taste that nectar. So similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is not only the fruit of Vedic literature, but it is the Galitam Phalam. It is the ripened fruit of all the Vedic literature. Not only that, this Vedic Bhagavatam is the Galitam Phala, but it is coming from the mouth of Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami is also called as a Shuka. Shuka means parrot. When the fruit is actually touched by the beak of the parrot, it taste is enhances. So similarly, the Srimad Bhagavatam, when recited by the great sage like Shukadev Goswami, it actually taste is actually enhances. And Vasudev is inviting all of us, Pibatam Bhagavatam Rasam. Please drink the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. So tomorrow don't go to home and try to put on to the fire and try to burn this and then drink that Bhagavatam. That is not what it means to be that. Read this Srimad Bhagavatam, understand its meaning and go deep into that, and you will see that the nectar coming of that, the reciprocation coming from the Lord Sri Krishna in the form of your transformation from our heart would actually, that is what Sukadeva Goswami, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam. And to whom this Bhagavatam, it is not only for the devotees who are in this Kagadaspura, VR convention or whatever is that, but for all those devotees, those who are even liberated souls are also requested or advised to take this nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. So somebody may say, oh, this Srimad Bhagavatam is only for the neophyte devotees like all of us are the practitioners of sadhakas. No. Bhuraho ar rasiko bhuvi bhavuka, muhuraho rasika. Even the great sages, they are also recommended to taste the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. Such is the greatness of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then what happens, those who actually reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, we should also know, मुझे क्या मिलेगा? What is that I will get from reciting Srimad Bhagavatam? And he says that, anta kale tu yenava sruete sukha shastra vaka. Sukha shastra means? Sukadeva Swami. Pritya tasyaiva vaikuntham govindam api prayaschati. So if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, at the end of Anta Kalesha Tumameva Smaranam Kalem. So Bhagavad Gita says that if you remember at the time of death, you will come back to me. Here, Padma Purana is saying about the Bhagavatam. If you read Bhagavatam at the end of life, you will go to the Govinda's abode. That is the Vaikuntha. Read the translation, Mother. Don't you read?
Who?
The Shastra of
Shuka Acharya.
Srimad Bhagavatam at the time of his death for him or her Lord Vishnu out of love grants a place in his abode Vaikuntha.
Just like we block our apartment somewhere, we just booked an apartment. Similarly, if you want to book an apartment in Vaikuntha, what we have to do? We have to give some advance there and book that, and you have to go to the register office and your name will be booked. And then from there onward, you have a place in Vaikuntha. And somebody may say that, oh, there will be limited place. No, Lord's place has no limitations, unlimited. Ganita. So even if whole world actually go there, the Lord's abode is actually more than enough for everybody. But what we have to do? How can we book that room for us, or the apartment or the villas in Vaikuntha? What we have to do to book that villa there?
We have to hear or chant.
We have to read here Srimad Bhagavatam only on Sunday 5:30 p.m.
Daily.
Daily, Prabhu is saying daily. I am not saying what Prabhu is saying daily. Okay, very good. So Prabhu is all set for that. So we have to read Srimad Bhagavatam every single day. Shuddha Shastra Vaka Vaikuntha Govindam Prayaschati. You will actually go to the Govinda's place, which is Vaikuntha. Such is it. So we know that from Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj was told that you have only 7 days notice period, and we don't know when we actually die whether this is the time that our next moment that suddenly the death will come and Krishna in the form of time will come, death will come and take us away. But Parikshit was fortunate that he was given a 7 days of notice, and he was told that the Takshak will come and he will take you. Then he did not actually combat that. How can I anti-curse to that Brahmana Srengi? Rather that he actually took this opportunity, went to the bank of Ganges and started reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. By the providence arrangement, Sukadeva Goswami came, and for the 7 days and 7 nights, without even taking the water and without taking a uta or annam, he was actually non-stop hearing Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days and 7 nights from Sukadeva Goswami, and completely he absorbed in the thought of Lord Sri Krishna, and at the 7th day he was completely free from all these things. and then he actually went to the abode. So the same thing, what Padma Purana is actually telling, Srimad Bhagavatam is demonstrating by the live example that if we recite Srimad Bhagavatam, Anta Kale cha mam eva smaran mukta kalevaram, at the end of life we will definitely go to the abode of Govinda, Lord Vishnu, Lord Sri Krishna. This is the beautiful example of that. What if we don't hear Srimad Bhagavatam? If you don't hear Srimad Bhagavatam, if you don't purchase Srimad Bhagavatam, what will happen? Please read. If you don't read it quickly, it will delay for prasadam. So at least for prasadam, please 6:30 or 6:15.
Alas, the fool who, even looking at story of Srimad Bhagavatam, is not drunk with a concentrated mind, during his lifetime has spent his life a Chandala or like a donkey in vain. Such a fool has proved to be instrumental only in causing pangs of childbirth to his friend.
So if you don't read Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that you are not like a Chandala, you are like a donkey. Not only that, you are actually becoming burden to mother's womb. So here it is said that Srimad Bhagavatam in this human form of life is such a durlabha manushya janma. This manushya janma is such a rare thing that, and if we do not utilize this human form of life by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Padma Purana says, Sanat Kumara says that this is nothing but you are like a Chandala, you are like a donkey, and you are becoming the burden to the mother's womb. So here we can say that a Tamil poet called Thiruvalluvar, he says that mother will become very happy when she sees that her son is actually well behaved, nicely actually growing or making a progress on his life. The mother becomes very happy. But if the son is not making a progress in his life, actually it becomes the burden to his mother's womb. So for all of us, if you want to please our parents, because we are here today because of our parents, and if you want to please your parents, if you want to serve your parents, the best way of pleasing or serving our parents is that becoming a wonderful follower of Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we recite Srimad Bhagavatam, when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, actually we don't become a burden to mother's womb. Rather, we become an instrument to take not only ourselves, but along with the previous some 7 generations, like 7 generations or 21 generations, Bhagavatam says that can actually be taken to the Vaikuntha. Prahlad Maharaj happened to see that. He was, what about my father? He said, do not worry. Vishnu said, Narasimha said, do not worry. What about that? Previous and next 21 generations will actually be taken. So if you want to please our parents, if you want to serve our parents, it's best that we ourselves become a devotee. And how to become a devotee? At least by practicing sadhaka, by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and reading Srimad Bhagavatam very regularly. It is said that our life is like a zeros. There are many things in our life, maybe our education, maybe our job, maybe all those things. They all are zeros. But if you are just one ahead of all these zeros, it has a value. Otherwise, it has useless. Srama eva hi kevalam, useless waste level. It is said that one who does not listen to even a little bit of narration of Srimad Bhagavatam by Sukadeva Goswami, it is considered a sinner who is living like a corpse. Corpse means a dead body. The leaders of Devatas will condemn them by saying, shame on that person who is just burdened to Mother Earth. When the Devatas actually go to the on the shore of the ocean and they pray to Lord Krishna, Mother Earth is actually crying. She said that I am actually overburdened. Not the overburdened by the population, but Mother Earth is saying that I am overburdened by the sins accumulated by the kids. And that is where they went to the Lord Vishnu's shore. So here, Devatas will actually condemn that person if he is not reading Srimad Bhagavatam. They saying that you are nothing but the burden to Mother Earth. He said that Srimad Bhagavatam, he said that even that person might be breathing, but if he is not reading Srimad Bhagavatam, he is nothing but a dead body. He is considered to be a dead body. There are many shlokas. Now after reading all those things, Srimad Bhagavatam from Sutta Goswamis and intern Sanat Kumara, there were actually joy to the daughter and the sons of Bhakti Devi, and she became very happy, and actually Narad Muni was very happy because all these changes happened. So this is, if you see that in the story, Sanat Kumar is actually sharing the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam to Bhakti Devi and her sons, and by just hearing that story of Srimad Bhagavatam, from them actually Gyan and Vairagya become enlivened, and they started dancing and chanting and dancing and reciting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. There is wonderful lot of things are actually there, but we are just running out of time. There was one story which actually comes in Padma Purana, again in the continuation of that. There was one ancient pastimes actually where on the bank of Tungabhadra there was a person called Atmadev, and this Atmadev was very wonderful, very wonderful person. He had wealth, he had everything. His wife was also, I mean, she was intelligent, but she was actually gossiping and cruel and wicked. But somehow he did not have a son. So he spent a lot of money to get a son. He spent almost 50% of wealth, but by doing the charity, he couldn't get a son. Then somehow he became so frustrated, he went to the forest, and this is the last story, and we'll conclude that. He went to the forest and he asked the sage that how can I get a son? And the sage was a very visionary, or is a divine personality. Just by seeing his face, he could understand that Atmadev, not only in this lifetime, next 7 lifetimes, will actually not get a son. But because he was actually not ready to hear anything, he was just, he said, in fact, he told truth. The sage told the truth to Atmadev that, in fact, not only in this life, next 7 lives you don't have. Instead of that, we actually go and surrender to Lord Krishna. He was not ready to hear anything. Atmadev was not ready. But somehow he wanted. So now the sage actually gave him a fruit. He said that you go home and give this fruit to your wife. And so that wife's name is actually Dunduvi. And then he comes and he gives the fruit to his wife. And when he gave fruit to his wife, he said that you take this fruit and follow these rules. You should speak the truth, you should clean your heart, you should be kind, you should be charitable, and you should have meal 1 time per day. And when you do all those things and take a fruit, you will be blessed with the. Now, just like Atmadev was a very saintly personality, contrary to the Atmadev, Dundubi was actually exactly opposite to that. She was not very saintly. So she did not have faith in all those things. So she was very wicked and cruel. So what happened? At that time, same time, her sister came, and her sister was actually carrying. She was even more wicked than Dundubi. And then she told the whole story what her husband told to her, that my husband told that if I take a fruit, she made a plan. She said that if you give me more money, I will make a plan that anyway I am carrying. So you don't take this fruit. You give this fruit to a cow. You throw this fruit, and then when I get whatever the son or daughter, then I will give to you, and you tell your husband that you are actually, you pretend that you are actually carrying, and that way when I get, when I deliver son or daughter, that I will give to you, and that way you will be free from that. So then, Dundubi, correct? Dundubi, I think it's Dundubi. Dunduli was her name, Dunduli. So now she did exactly what her sister said, that her sister got money, she threw the fruit to cows, the cow actually consumed that, and then she pretended that she is actually pregnant, and after some time her sister actually delivered a boy, and then she brought that boy, and as if brought from the Dunduli, and then her name was actually Dundukari. And at the same time, the cow actually gave a birth. So now this king Atmadev was very happy, and the Atmadev was very happy. There was no limit to his joy. And at the same time but what happened? This Dunduli, she was not actually given a birth. But then how can she feed milk to that baby? So she made an arrangement that actually I don't have milk,
But my wife, my sister, who had given birth to the boy, now her birth, the boy or the daughter or son or whoever, he actually died. But she can actually feel to my son. So can we bring my sister to here? Now Atmadev was very happy. He was ready to do anything because somehow or the other he wanted to grow up that child. And now when that sister comes here, she starts feeding for the next 6 months, and this Dundukari he grows up, and Atmadev is very happy. But you can see that the next generation that actually comes out from the parents depends upon what is our consciousness at the time of conceiving. So that is why Vedic culture says that we must perform a Garbhadan Sanskara. Today, if we go to purchase a cell phone, we do so much of research. We'll go to this website, that website, we do so much of hours, days together just to get something a dead matter. But once we were actually having a seminar and we asked that when we actually plan for a son or daughter, do we do anything? He said, no, we are not told to that, we are not trained to do anything. So this is the situation. Just for a cell phone, we do so much of planning and research. What about that we are inviting a soul in a mother's womb? Do we plan something for that? No. That is the scenario. So Srila Prabhupada says that one must perform a Garbhadana Samskara. Garbhadana Samskara means preparing our consciousness to invite a wonderful soul in mother's womb. It is not that once the birth will take and then we can train him. The best way of training the soul, even before the birth, actually the soul takes the center of mother's womb. And that is even before you conceive. So Srila Prabhupada has given some guidance and direction that how as an individual husband and wife can prepare for that Garbhadan Sanskara, so that when we prepare ourselves by consciousness as well as physically, then we can invite a wonderful soul. But here the cow has given a very wonderful soul birth to the soul because he was actually coming the blessing from a sage, and he was like a human, but his ear were like a cow, and Atmadev named him as Gokarna. His karna was like a goat. And whereas this Dundukari was a nonsense, because you know that comes from the mother who was actually wicked and cruel. So the Dundukari is very 200% sure that he will behave like exactly the mother's consciousness, what she was actually having the consciousness before conceiving. Whereas the Gokarna has a wonderful blessings from the sages. He was very peaceful, very devoted, principled the person, whereas Dundukari was nonsense. He was stealing the people from the childhood. While the playing with the kids, actually he will kill. Not only he will kill, he will have killed, so that he will see that how they are suffering. Such was the conscience of this Dundukari. Now, eventually Dundukari was doing all the nonsense. Now, if you have to do all those things, you need a lot of money. So he was taking money from his father. Father said, what is this? Later, this Atmadev was lamenting, wish I would not have a son. यही संस्पर्श जा भोगा दुख यौन येवते आद्य अंतवंत कौंते नतेषु रमते बुद्धा. Bhagavad Gita 5.22, Lord says that in the material world, the object that we actually strive that I will get the happiness, the same object becomes the source of our misery after some time, because it has a beginning. Adi antavanta kaunteya. It has a beginning and it has a end. Atmadev became very frustrated, miserable. He said that I cannot live here. Gokarna was very saintly personality, and he said that he go and renounce everything and go to the forest, and he prepared himself and he went to the spiritual world. Now Dundukari, his mother Dunduli and Gokarna were there. Now he continued to doing all this nonsense, and he will actually go to his mother, steal her money, scold her, beat her, do all kinds of things with her mother, and she couldn't tolerate. Finally, she also suicided herself. Now it is only Dundukari and alone himself. Now he didn't have money, so he will do criminal activities. He will steal, he will do all those things, and he had n number of prostitutes in his house, and the prostitutes were very smart. They said this Dundukari fellow, he actually almost he killed his mother. He made sure that his father left him. What is the guarantee that tomorrow he will kill us also? Better that we kill him. As you saw, so shall you reap. The exact thing it is said that just like
Among the thousands of cows, the calf finds its own mother. Similarly, the result of our past karma will exactly find us wherever we are. Even if we are in Bangalore or wherever, the karma will exactly find us and exactly track us. So similarly, all these prostitutes, they made a plan. So at the time of night, they tied his neck very tightly so that he will get strangulated and he will die. This fellow was such a cruel and wicked person. After doing all those things, he was not dying. Now see what to do. So they got the burning charcoal and they put in his mouth. And finally, this Dunduki was actually dead. And since he was not completely left his body, he has so much of attachment, he became a ghost. Bhut. And he became ghost. And then Gokarna came to know about that. He went to Gaya, he did all kinds of sadha for this Dundukari. But Dundukari has done so much of sin. Even after all these things, he was not getting relieved. On that night, he actually came to where Gokarna was sleeping and he actually started making a noise. And Gokarna was a wonderful devotee of he was not a fearful, but he asked, "Who are you?" He couldn't speak. This Dundukari was so much full of sins, he couldn't speak. He started crying very loudly, and Gokarna took a water achman from there and sprinkled from that achman, and then Dundukari started speaking. He said, "I am your brother, Dundukari. I have done so many sins in my life. Now I am struggling. Now I am in this. Please help me to relieve from this ghost life." Now Gokarna was very saintly personality. That is the nature of sadhu. Sadhu is paradukha dukhi. But in material life, we are paradukha sukhi. When the other person sees in a difficult situation, "Wow, Krishna, thank you, give me more difficulty." Very nice. But when somebody is happy, we actually become miserable. But the saintly personalities like Gokarna, he was very paradukha dukhi. How can I help my brother? He said then he made a plan to. So what was the plan for him again? Bhagavatam is the only solution. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Yeah. So then he called all the people from that village, and then now this Dundukari was a ghost. He cannot sit in one place. Place was given him in a hollow place of bamboo, and this bamboo has 7 knots. And then Gokar started reading Srimad Bhagavatam non-stop for 7 days. At the end of the first day, when the first canto was finished, and then the first knot was actually relieved and with the cracking sound, and likewise after day after day after day, second day the second knot was released, the third day third knot was released, the fourth day fourth knot was released, and after 7 days of continuous one Bhagavad Sapta was finished, and this Brundukori actually was relieved from the ghostly form and he attained the divine form. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Yeah. This is the greatness of Srimad Bhagavatam. Even from such a sinful situation of being a ghost, he was relieved. Brundukari. And then the question came that then from the divine place came the plane, and the Vishnu Duta came and they were about to take this Dundukari to the thing. Then Atmadeva asked, "Actually, I am reading this Srimad Bhagavatam to all the people. Only why this Dundukari got released from the, what about this all the great villagers, they didn't get released?" Then he says, Vishnu Duta says that because all these people did not hear Srimad Bhagavatam with the attention, with the, it is actually said with the faith and attention, they didn't hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is why they were not relieved. Now when they heard from the Vishnu Duta, this villager said, "Now let's have the second round of Bhagavad Sapta." And they had a second round of Bhagavad Sapta. Now this time they are very attentive with the full faith. Once what happened? So there was a katha, and in that katha, that yajna was going to happen. The yajna was going to happen because there was no rain. And the person who is going to speak that sacrifice or perform the sacrifice or yajna, that once we perform the yajna, there will be rain. And there was one person who actually came to hear that. He brought an umbrella. He brought the umbrella, and 99% other people or all other 999 people did not bring umbrella because they did not have faith in the vakya or the sentences or the speaker. They thought that okay, he will perform yajna and there will be no rain. But this person has such a faith that he knows that After the end of the yajna, definitely there will be rain, and he got a umbrella. So similarly, this Dundu Kavi, because he had no option other than to hear Srimad Bhagavatam so attentively and with the full faith. And at the end of the 7 days, he actually went. The second time, the villagers also very smart, because today Kali they are smart. So there is a lesson learned, best practices. Now we said let's do the best practices, that this time we will hear very attentively and faithfully. And for information for all of you, that when at the end of the 7 days, the Gokarn and all the villages now came, for them came the flame from the Vaikuntha, and all the people actually went to Vaikuntha. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. So these are the glories. There are unlimited glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. We did not go with all those things. So we'll end here 6:27, 6:30, 15 minutes late. So we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. So how many of you would like to read Srimad Bhagavatam every single day? How many would like to have Bhagavatam? So please take that.
Hare Krishna.
Any questions?
We'll just conclude and relax. Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful session. I just summarized few of the points. Like in Bhagavad Gita, at the end, Krishna said, like, surrender to me. And here Prabhuji has nicely described like how we can surrender to God. Bhagavad Gita, where it ends, Bhagavatam starts. So surrender unto Him. But how do we surrender? We can surrender to Lord by reading Bhagavatam daily. And as Prabhuji has mentioned about, it's a ripened fruit. Sins will be destroyed by reading Bhagavatam. So we all are suffering in the material world because of our previous sins. So sins will be destroyed by reading Bhagavatam. And our aim of life is to get Krishna Prema, which we can get by reading Bhagavatam with faith and dedication. So this was just a few summary points. Anybody has any question or any comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can you just wanted to know, for a new point or new devotee, whether you should first start with Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam?
Srila Prabhupada has told all of us. The question is that whether should we read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada said that Bhagavad Gita is the undergraduate study, graduate study, and Chaitanya Bhagavatam the graduate study, and Chaitanya Charitamrita the postgraduate study. So you begin with Bhagavad Gita, and once you begin Bhagavad Gita, the next thing that one must read Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you have not finished Bhagavad Gita, and that is where we said that Bhagavad Gita ends, and from there Bhagavatam. So you can begin with Bhagavad Gita, and Bhagavad Gita is 700 shlokas. So it's short. You can actually do, and it's the essence of all the scriptures. Any other question?
Anyone else?
Who are the Vaishnavas? Who are the Vaishnavas? Vaishnavas are those who are the follower or those who worship Vishnus or Krishna. So those are the Vaishnavas. So who understand that the purpose of the life is Vishnu, to serve Him and to chant His name. So that is where the follower of
We are also Vaishnavas. That means we are Vaishnavas.
But we cannot just become Vaishnava by giving the tag or things. When we follow the great Vaishnava, we actually become Vaishnava. And one of the great Vaishnavas for all of us is founder, His Divine Grace, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. When we follow his footsteps, actually we become Vaishnava.
Initially we cannot follow everything, but as we are starting, we will follow few things.
Yeah, so we cannot overnight become a sadhu. Many millions of years of contamination is there. So it takes some time. So we can start with the baby step, and whatever is practical and feasible for you, you can begin with that, and then slowly and steadily we can actually keep adding to that, and you come to that stage where you can feel that, okay, now I can confident, and then you take the next level. Then take the next level and take the next level.
Thank you.
perfect chanting.
Skit also planned, but I think they are ready with the dance. So when you chant it, आपके साथ करेंगे. Otherwise, प्रभुपाद जी का play करते हैं.
So before Japa will start, as Prabhuji, the session spoke about so many problems in Kali Yuga, right? The laziness, life is short, those kind of things. But there is one good thing. So many problems are there, but there is a great advantage in the age of Kali. What is a great advantage? One can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. So the constant chanting of the holy name will drive away the Kali from the world. So Kali cannot enter where Lord is there. So let's invite Lord in this place by chanting Hare Krishna Maha. We will just play some parts Hare Krishna Maha and then we will do it chorus. First, we will start with our Jai Shri Krishna mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare